Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you might be. I'm CMC. That guy over there is MCKD, and we are the Widiots. Um, just right off the top here. If you look us up on the Facebook, apparently now we do have an AI overview of what the show is, and mostly everything is correct except for the fact that they think that we're sponsoring a under 13 girls rugby team somewhere. But otherwise, it's mostly correct. So thanks, Meta.
Yeah, that's dang rugby, huh? Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, good sport. Shit.
Under 13 girls, do they even get to like tackle?
I would about imagine. I
Oof.
mean, judging by the name, I would assume it's Australian. So, Australians are built different.
They like that rugby over there. They like that
I
rugby.
mean, they're wrestling crocodiles straight out of the womb. So,
Yeah, it's true. And they got a box kangaroos, so
yep.
you got to be tough over there.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotta be. Using
Mm,
rattlesnakes as whips and shit.
that's how it is, And they eat that damn Vegemite. That is, ooh, that is not for me. I had it once, and I said, I don't need this anymore. So Beth is here. Beth, I thought you were watching bowling. Hmm.
Well, either
Welcome
way,
aboard,
welcome
Beth.
in, Beth.
Yeah, where are you? What's happening with this bowling thing? We need
Oh,
to get to the bottom
oh
of it.
shit. And Amber's on your ass already. So, shout out to the ones that make you smile. There's mine right there.
Oh, Beth is home. Hmm. No, that is not sexist, Amber, because have you watched girls lacrosse? It ain't pretty. It is
Oh, she is,
girl
she
lacrosse,
is, she is
not that.
disagreeing with you all over the board already.
Vegemite is. I mean, I was a security guard at that camp in the Dells, and they had some Australian dudes working there. And this one guy named Craig, he had a genuine Vegemite, and he had his little can there, and made some toast, and then whatever. He's like, "This is how we do it," and I had it, and it wasn't truly disgustingly awful. I wouldn't give it a -10 out of 10 sort of thing, but maybe a 3.5. Not great. It just. Blech. Not for me. But yes, shout outs. My mom's here. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to the ones that make us smile who is
Hi, Dana.
watching from Florida, which could be the first person out of state to watch the show. I don't know. But let's just say it is. I
Fair
mean,
enough.
who
We'll
knows?
take it.
Yeah, we don't know how to get those statistics, so we're just counting it up. Shout out to my Kendall crew. They're at a basketball game right now. It is that time of year, playoffs and all that. It's at home.
Playoffs.
Playoff, yeah. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Maybe they will go the way of Jim Mora. We don't know. Um, but yeah, and otherwise, shout out to all the weather people who are wrong, because here we sit. We did get some rain, but not the monsoon that they said. But apparently, there's some coming tonight. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's allegedly it's firing up over Iowa right now, but I haven't seen anything recently.
Allegedly. But yeah, that's about it for me and my shout outs. What do you got, Corey?
Jesus
Oh
Christ.
God,
Um,
he's dead.
Shout out to the ones that make you smile for my side. She's already been interacting heavily tonight. Um, shout out to people who bring dogs to work. Got to meet a very nice St. Bernard today. 2 years old, still a puppy, quite large. Um, and then, yeah, no, Beth, I do not have the plague. I have not been blessed by any rats lately, so I can confirm, not the plague.
I mean, God, we're gonna have to get you tested, Corey.
Yeah, tested for being awesome. And speaking of things that are awesome, you had an interaction with a gentleman who was, and still is very much, running across the nation named Noah Coughlin.
Yes, sir. Ran into him. Actually, I follow a guy named Dan Infault, but he goes by the Hunting Beast on YouTube here. And he had posted a couple days prior that this Noah guy was running across or whatever the country for no really particular reason with the flag, and he's just pushing his little scoot along. And oh, Amber says he does have the plague. Eek. Be careful, Amber. But I met up with him, and well, it's a stupid story, really. I didn't think anything of it, and I'm driving through town here, and all of a sudden, right in front of Culver's, there's a guy running across the street, and it didn't dawn on me at first. I'm like, who in the hell is this guy? Because I could see this flag, and he's pushing this scooter thing, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I drive by, and I'm like going to the local pet store where I go, and I'm just like, there ain't no fucking way it's that guy, right? Like, what is he doing in this town? And all of a sudden, I pulled in to the pet store, and he's at the Holiday Inn talking with somebody, and I'm like, I bet that's that guy. Get my stuff, and he's still talking to the guy outside. And I drive by and look over. I'm like, it's probably that guy. And I said, okay. So I drive up, and I'm just like, all right. I don't know what. Beth, you asked the question, what the fuck is Corey doing? We don't know.
We'll cover that in a minute. Keep going.
We haven't a clue. So I drove, I kind of turned around, did a big old U-turn-ish, and I said, all right, if he's still outside, I'll see what's in my wallet. Sure enough, I had $20. I'm like, all right, cool. So I stopped, and the other guy he was talking to was just leaving. I said, yeah, and talked with him for 5 minutes, gave him the money, and super nice. He's more than willing to take a picture with you, but I was like, no, man, just do your thing. It's all good. And yeah, he was gonna go to Baraboo, but the snowstorm stopped him. So he stayed the night here at the local Holiday Inn. But I think he's in Minnesota now, ain't he?
No, actually, so I can give the full update. I'm gonna quick sidebar here with Beth. I have stupidly long eyelashes, and they tend to stick.
Ooh.
Like really bad, like back into my eye. So occasionally I do have to pluck them. So when I'm, taking my glasses off and fucking with my eyes, I'm just pulling my eyelashes back into position. So
I have the same problem.
Yeah, been doing that since I was a kid. So I mean,
it's stupid.
The fact that it's taken an entire year of watching this show, where I've done it at least once every episode.
It's getting silly.
But anyway, yeah. So Noah has pulled off in South Eau Claire tonight.
Oh wow!
So okay. He went from. Let's see. There was a pullover in Baraboo. He ran through the Dells up to Mauston. Stayed overnight in Mauston. Went through New Lisbon, Camp Douglas, Oakdale. Stayed the night in Toma. Then after Toma, he went to Black River Falls. And today was his shortest trip. Last night he pulled off in Osseo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so today he made it to South Eau Claire. The plan is to kind of wiggle his way around the Twin Cities. So he's going to be, I think, making a sharp north turn. And then cutting back west to go to Fargo.
Jeez. He was wearing a shirt with his map on it. I can't fucking see, but it looked like he was going Highway 12 for most of the way.
Yeah,
Like,
he took Highway 12 all the way to Black River, and then took a couple of county roads to get up to Osseo. Mostly county, and I think one state road to get to Eau Claire. But I think he's going to be getting up on probably Highway 2 up there in northern Minnesota to cut across to Fargo.
yeah, good old
So
Highway.
I think Highway 2 goes through Fargo, doesn't it?
Should. It's a northern one there. And it comes across. What's this one here? Nope, that's not Highway 2. Where does that summit go? There's 2. Hang on, Corey. No, it's going to go north of that. Goes through Grand Rapids. Goes about. Whoa, there's a big lake there. It goes by. And then, I don't know. I lost it. Where the fuck did it go? Oh, here it is. Am I there yet? No, Grand Forks is where it goes through.
Okay. Well, either way, his plan is to go through Fargo, cut across Montana, Idaho,
Yep.
Oregon, and that's the last of the contiguous states that he has to walk across. After that, they're driving up to Alaska, and he's going to walk from or run from Prudhoe Bay to Anchorage.
Jesus Christ.
So he's planning on getting out to the Oregon coast in May.
Mm-hmm.
Then up to Alaska, do that little run there. Well, it's not a little run. Prudhoe to Anchorage is quite a trek. And then he flies down to Hawaii to finish in Honolulu on July 4th. To become the third ever person to walk across all 50 states.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Oh, what do we got going on? Yeah, deepest apologies about our eyelashes, Beth. It's a serious issue. They get in the way more than they do anything else. It's bizarre. I mean, I don't know what I did, but like they're super long. They always have been. And they get in your eye, and then you try and like do this, and then they get cockeyed, and
Yeah.
that's basically the gist of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Indeedy weedy. Any other shout outs, Corey?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Like, I think we both wanted to give Noah a shout out because his trip is actually pretty inspiring. He is a filmmaker as well as being an ultra runner, which is what he's doing right now. But he's also a filmmaker, and I do believe he's going to be piecing together a bit of a documentary where he interviews however many remaining World War II veterans there are left. He's trying to get as many of them as he can. I mean, most of them are in their 90s now, so gonna be 90s creeping up on 100. So he's gonna be getting pretty close to running out of them, but so there's that. The flag he's carrying was actually flown on an Air Force mission on a KC-75 Stratotanker, I believe. KC-75 or KC-35. But he was taking that from coast to coast. So I mean, the man's got a lot of irons in the fire, and I'd say he's doing all right.
I mean, I don't know how you do that shit, man. Jesus Christ. Like, how many times does he eat?
Pretty much every night he says he's carbing up. I actually started following him on Facebook. So he's like carb loading at night and then probably snacking during the day. And that's what's keeping him up and keeping him going. Like, ultra runners are a different breed.
Well, yeah. Runners are a different breed, that's all.
Yeah, because I remember there was an episode of Stone Cold Steve Austin's old podcast where he actually did have an ultra marathoner, and these were guys that just like ran 100 miles straight. And he was like, "Yeah, no, I don't even know if I could keep up with you cats."
God, why would you want to try? Ugh.
Yeah, it's pure insanity.
That I will agree.
All right, so yeah, so Beth says that long distance runners usually carb load at night, which tracks. And yeah, with that, we're gonna move into Florida man versus Midwest guy.
Do it.
So get your thinking caps on. Bring out that detective in you. I got a couple stories. I'm gonna read the headlines. Gonna take the identifying markers out and try to get you to guess whether these headlines are from Florida or somewhere in the Midwest. Now, both of these stories were actually sent in to me by a couple of fans of the show.
Oh, sheesh. Oh, I got a lot to
Um,
live up to now. Fuck.
so there is.
Wait a minute. I gotta go get my thinking cap.
He's gonna need it.
Beth asked where it was. It's a very good question. So,
Well, good thing it was within reach.
I mean, I might as well put it on just to give me a little bit of a boost here. Okay.
All right. First headline. Man accused of using taco seasoning packets to steal $40,000 from Target. So that's your first headline. Second headline. Man claims dolphins forced him to build an underwater city.
I mean, the Dolphins thing has to be in Florida. So I'm going to use common sense and go with that. But I have a lot of questions about how exactly $40,000 in taco sauce are involved. But I'm saying Dolphins, Florida, other one Midwest.
Well, what if I said both were in Florida?
Well, then that ain't right. But we need to talk about this taco sauce.
All right. So first of all, tried to pull an impractical jokers on you here. So we will talk about the taco seasoning packets. That was from Florida. Florida man claiming that dolphins forced him to build an underwater city. So I'm going to read you the story first, and then we're going to kind of follow up on that a little bit, okay?
Go for it.
So this is out of Fort Myers. Florida man found sunburned and disoriented on Sanibel Causeway, claiming he was kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build an underwater city. Lee County Sheriff's deputies responded to the Sanibel Causeway early Monday after a motorist reported a man standing on the shoulder, soaking wet and drawing blueprints in the sand. According to the police report, Ricky James Howell, 33, was found barefoot, severely sunburned, and wearing only swim trunks. Told deputies he had been taken against his will by a pod of dolphins 3 days ago and forced to work on what he called an underwater construction project. According to Howell and the police report, Howell claimed the dolphins approached him while he was swimming off Fort Myers Beach and escorted him to a site approximately 40 feet below the surface where they needed help building structures. He told officers the dolphins communicated through a series of clicks that he eventually learned to interpret, and the project foreman was a dolphin he referred to as Gerald. When he asked how he breathed underwater for 3 days, he said, Gerald handled that. I didn't ask questions. You don't question Gerald. He had drawn an elaborate blueprint in the sand that deputies described as detailed enough to be concerning, including what appears to be condos, a town square, and a recreation center. He told officers he was released because the Dolphins were satisfied with his work, but that Gerald said they'd be back for phase two. Responding deputy Sean Oakley told reporters, I've been with the sheriff's office for 11 years. The blueprints were the part that got me. He had zoning. Hollowell was transported for medical evaluation. Gerald was unavailable for comment, as you would expect. Now, here's the thing. This story was pure bullshit. It was a satirical post sent out across Facebook. That story was actually sent to me by Beth. I decided immediately to go verify whether the story was true or not. Obviously, it was not. But I do have a follow-up to that, as the Lee County Sheriff actually had to go on the news down in Florida and tell people that no, this did not fucking happen. So we go back to Lee County, Florida. Dolphins are back in the headlines, and this time they're being accused of running Florida's most bizarre developmental project. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is setting the record straight on Friday after an outlandish online rumor claimed marine mammals were behind an underwater construction operation off Florida's coast. The story gained traction after a widely shared social media post referenced a Florida resident who allegedly reported being kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build an underwater city. The sheriff's office responded with a tongue-in-cheek statement assuring residents that the region's real estate market has not expanded below sea level. Deputies said they consulted their fictional underwater construction investigation team to look into the claim. According to the agency, the dolphins that inhabit Southwest Florida's waters deny any involvement in the supposed deep-sea development. Story continues after my fucking laptop decides to catch up to me. While the rumor sparked plenty of online laughs, the sheriff's office emphasized that the situation was purely humorous. The agency added in a playful disclaimer, no dolphins were harmed in the making of this rumor. The department frequently uses lighthearted posts to engage with the community, blending local flavor with coastal humor. In this case, officials say the only thing underwater in Lee County is the usual mix of fish, shells, and sea life, not construction crews or ocean-dwelling architects. Despite the viral nature of the claim, authorities say there is no evidence of any underwater city, planned or otherwise. As of now, the real estate market remains firmly on dry land.
Jesus.
So, obviously, this week will not count against your record.
Oh, God.
So,
Huh.
now, obviously, Beth meant very well by sending me this story. Obviously, when you have to go back and do confirmation, because you can never tell when a story is bullshit or real on the internet anymore. So you got to do some fucking digging. Although I did like that one for a laugh, and well, what the hell? I felt like at the 1 year mark, I figured I probably better just prank you once and see how you take it.
Hey, it certainly was a different story, but I mean, you won't be surprised by any of it anymore, right? Like, it definitely could be real.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally see somebody getting like really ripped off of like meth or something and claim he got stolen by dolphins while being caught for speeding. Like, I could see that. Yes, Beth, we all knew it was bullshit.
I mean, but with the stories that they make up nowadays, you just never know. Now, tell me this taco thing. Like, what the hell are we doing?
Okay, for this story, we go to USA Today News, which was I kept looking for a local Florida outlet to give the story, but this made national headlines. So we're going to get into it. Florida man is facing retail theft charges after local authorities allege that he stole thousands of dollars worth of trading cards from multiple Target stores using 99-cent taco seasoning packets. According to a statement from Florida Attorney General James Utheimer's office, which Attorney General Utheimer, this is his second time popping up on the show, said on February 26th, Keith Wallace, 39, was arrested after he allegedly engaged. God damn it, where'd the fucking story go? There it is. You son of a bitch, get back here. All right, trying again. Florida man is facing retail theft charges after local authorities allege that he stole thousands of dollars worth of trading cards from multiple Target stores using 99-cent taco seasoning packets. According to a statement from Florida Attorney General James Utheimer's office on February 26th, Keith Wallace, 39, was arrested after he allegedly engaged in an organized retail fraud scheme at multiple Target locations from Miami to Orlando. Wallace has been charged with counts of felony organized retail theft, 3 counts of felony dealing in stolen property, and 1 count of felony money laundering, according to Utheimer's office. Wallace is accused of committing 75 thefts at multiple Target locations across Florida between July 2025 and February 2026. Utheimer's office said investigators believe that in each theft, Wallace would grab large boxes of trading cards and an equal number of 99-cent taco seasoning packets. Then, once at the self-checkout line, Wallace is alleged to have only paid for the seasoning packets. Authorities said that Wallace would resell the stolen trading cards on eBay, generating almost $40,000 in revenue. Wallace's alleged thefts resulted in a loss of over $10,000, according to Utheimer's office. Authorities also believe that Wallace is connected to Walmart and Publix thefts. This arrest sends a clear message that organized retail theft, no matter how coordinated or far-reaching, will be aggressively investigated and prosecuted, Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw said in a statement. Wallace faces up to 90 years in prison if convicted on all counts. As of February 27th, online court records do not show a defense attorney listed for him. Organized retail theft drives up prices for consumers, and that is not a result we are going to tolerate. These schemes are met with the maximum punishment allowed under the law, Utheimer said.
Whew.
So basically what Homeboy was doing is he was just taking equal-sized cases of taco seasoning packets and, like, Pokemon cards, scanning the taco seasoning packets, leaving the fucking packets behind, and walking out the door with a box of Pokemon cards.
And now he faces 90 years in prison.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I'd hate to be him. You know, like what are you in for? Pokemon card theft. Like, ooh, boy, oh boy, that is something. It's a hell of a lot of taco seasoning too. Damn.
Oh, dude, it's a shit pile.
Oh.
Now, okay, so now Chris has stepped in. Welcome back, Chris. We love you, buddy. My coworker came back from break today and said Brett Favre had died. It's all over Facebook. I'm like, nah, bro, you read some dumb, uncredible shit. Which is correct. There is... I'm going to say this gently because I love the older people in my life. And Margaret, I know you're like way too smart for this shit, so I'm just gonna leave you be. Like Mama Deal, I'm leaving you be. But there's a lot of what I like to call AI slop that has come out on Facebook, especially lately. In regards to things that athletes have done, cities have done, celebrities have done. Or they just make up really credible looking shit that says a certain celebrity has died. So certain celebrities have probably died about 3 different times in the last like 5 years based on viral posts. And they have to come out and say, no, I'm not fucking dead. Stop believing what you read on the internet. Same goes for a lot of these like weird stories that you see pop up on Facebook. Like they say that I know I saw one a couple months ago that said Jordan Love turned down like $10 million from the Bill Gates Foundation. No, the fuck he didn't. Like, folks, if you see something that's a little out of pocket on Facebook, Google it. Say, did this really happen? And I know I'm telling you to fight AI slop with AI, but if you put it on Google and say, hey, did this really fucking happen? Google, more than often than not, with their own AI, is going to come back and say, no, this didn't fucking happen. It's AI.
Boom. Man. I mean, I just, Brett Favre is not dead, for the record. But he's got something goofy with him, eh? He's got, what, MS or something?
Parkinson's.
Yeah. True. Everyone is just trying to get likes, Chris. That's just how it is. So they can make another 8 cents.
Pretty much.
Yay.
Yeah, and then on top of that, somebody hacked onto Rashawn Gary's Instagram today and put up a post saying that he was leaving the Packers. Now, first of all, not true. Different NFL insiders have reached out to the Packers and Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary says his Instagram was hacked. That story was taken down. The Packers have to actually inform the league office. All the teams do before any moves have to be made. Like, once the shit gets to the league office, that's what's getting to your insiders because they're seeing the shit come in through there. So, no, Rashawn Gary has not left yet, but there's a possibility he might.
Yeah, not yet. He's on thin ice.
Yeah, there's a possibility he might, but not yet. There is a lot of wiggling they have to do to get under the cap. I mean, all the teams are doing it. Like, the Vikings have already informed Aaron Jones, and I think their center, like a defensive lineman or some shit, that they're going to be gone by the 11th, I think?
Their center retired.
Yeah, the center retired. They informed Aaron Jones and a random defensive lineman that they were going to be getting the boot. Which, I don't know. I would think I'd be wanting to cut ties with 9, but what do I know?
No, they're going to go get Kyler and start him.
Yep, I can see it now. They're going to have a Call of Duty graphic up there for every time Kyler throws an interception.
It is something else. It is something else how certain teams just don't get it. But they don't have a choice because their current quarterback is awful, and the free agency crop is awful, and the incoming draft class is awful. So
yeah, it's all dreadful.
It's terrible.
Like after Fernando Mendoza, it just goes to shit.
Yep, there is no one around. Ooh. Well, what do we got, Corey? What's next? Yes.
Let's talk about some not deer.
Not deer. I'm in.
All right. Again, we go to phantomsandmonsters.com. Again, Lon Strickler is has just this massive backlog of weird shit from around the country that, I mean, if you haven't been on that website yet, folks, get on it. There's some weird fucking shit on there. But in this case, this was actually just posted the other day on March 3rd. A Wisconsin DNR warden confronts not deer along Ice Age Trail in South Kettle Moraine State Forest. Now, honestly, for me, I don't know what a not deer looks like, but I love this artistic rendition. I fucking love that.
I read the story when you tagged me in it because I'm like, what in the hell is this?
Oh, good. So then we'll just get right into it after I read the story for the people. Then,
Go for it.
because I know you've been stewing on some thoughts since I tagged you.
Yeah,
All
definitely
right.
weird.
All right. So this all right. So this warden writes in, while working for the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources in 2017, I was assigned to follow up on 3 separate reports of a deer believed to be suffering from chronic wasting disease in the South Kettle Moraine State Forest along the Ice Age National Scenic Trail. Each caller described an animal that looked severely malnourished, possibly injured, and emitting a powerful foul odor. My assumption was that it had been wounded and developed gangrene. The area where the deer had been seen was not easily accessible by vehicle, so I hiked in. The sightings were clustered near one of the public backpacking shelters. The most recent report had come in about 24 hours earlier. I arrived at the shelter just as a thunderstorm rolled in. I scanned the surrounding woods, but saw nothing. The rain quickly intensified, so I decided to wait it out inside the shelter. These structures are more like small cabins than open lean-tos. I removed my pack and sat down. Within minutes, I was hit with an overwhelming stench of rotting flesh. It was immediate and strong enough to make me gag. I searched the shelter interior, assuming perhaps a dead animal had gotten inside, but found nothing. I thought I saw movement past the doorway, but when I stepped out to look, there was nothing visible in the rain. Then, just as suddenly as it had appeared, the odor vanished. I remained inside for about 30 more minutes while the storm continued. Then the smell returned, stronger than before. At that moment, I knew something was wrong. I cannot explain how I knew. It was instinct. I heard something scrape against the side of the shelter. It was loud and deliberate. I moved to the window and saw what appeared to be white antlers. That made no sense. It was early summer in Wisconsin. Bucks would not yet have exposed bone antlers. Even if antlers were forming, they would be covered in velvet. These looked stripped and pale. I assumed it must be the injured deer and was prepared to dispatch it. I had brought a 12-gauge shotgun loaded with slugs for that purpose. As I shifted position, the animal moved toward the doorway. The storm darkened in the distance, but I could see clearly enough. What stepped into view was not an injured deer. It was roughly twice the size of a mature whitetail. Its body was skeletal, almost emaciated, beyond what seemed biologically survivable. The fur was long, stringy, and uneven, more like matted canine hair than deer hide. Entire sections of its body were hairless. The head was the worst part. There was no skin on it, no muscle, no tissue. It appeared to be a bare skull with antlers attached. I saw no eyes in the sockets. The jaw hung loosely, as if barely connected. Yet there was a tongue visible inside the mouth. The teeth resembled those of a deer. It stood in the doorway, rain pouring around it. I fired 3 times into its center mass. It did not fall. It did not stumble. It did not react in any visible way. It turned and ran into the woods. I remained inside the shelter for another hour until the storm passed. I had never experienced fear like that in my life. If a shotgun loaded with slugs could not stop it, there was nothing I could do if I encountered it again. When I reached my truck, I did not know what to write in my report. I ultimately documented that I did not observe the deer. Reporting what I actually saw would have raised serious questions about my competence. Shortly after the incident, I transferred to another position within the department. And now Lon has added some commentary. This is probably based on any follow up that he's done with this particular witness, along with some similar stories. The account contains several recurring elements associated with the so called not deer encounters in Appalachia and the upper Midwest. These include disproportionate size, skeletal or distorted anatomy, exposed bone features, unnatural stillness, and the overwhelming odor of decay. The sudden appearance and disappearance of the stench suggests a phenomenon not entirely biological. The creature did not react to multiple shotgun slug impacts. Either the shots did not penetrate conventionally, or the entity did not respond as a living mammal would. That lack of psychological or physiological response is significant. While not deer reports are commonly associated with Appalachia, Wisconsin and Michigan have documented anomalous cervid sightings dating back decades. Northern Midwest forests have also produced Wendigo lore, and reports of emaciated humanoid or deer-like entities. Chronic wasting disease outbreaks in Wisconsin have fueled modern speculation, though CWD does not produce exposed skull tissue or dramatic size anomalies. So, theoretical frameworks to this cryptid misidentification of a diseased deer is insufficient to explain exposed skull features and ballistic resistance. Two, the interdimensional or ultra terrestrial hypothesis aligns more closely with the creature's sudden odor, anatomical distortion, and apparent immunity to conventional force. Three, psychological contagion is unlikely given the witness's professional background and armed response training. The witness's emotional tone is controlled yet disturbed. He did not embellish. He suppressed the report. That lends weight to the authenticity of his fear. This case fits the broader ultra terrestrial intrusion model, in which an entity mimics local wildlife, but imperfectly. Reports like this suggest that some entities may present as corrupted imitations of familiar wildlife, blurring the boundary between biological disease and something far stranger. If these manifestations are adaptive or environmental in nature, then understanding their geographic clustering and behavioral patterns becomes critical for future investigation. So, what say you?
I don't know about this one, Corey. I don't know. This one is certainly intriguing, certainly interesting. I mean, if everything is legit, I got no, uh, you know, even though wardens are not high on my list of people to talk to, I gotta believe that he knows the difference between a deer and not a deer.
Yes, you would think.
That is a weird one. That is, it's there's so many things there. He should know the smells. He should know everything about it. Why he went out there in the dark and pouring rain. I'm not entirely sure on that one. If he's just going after a deer with CWD, well, you can fucking wait for that. You know, at least make it daytime. There's no reason to be out there in the night.
There were no indications that it was night. It was just a very heavy thunderstorm coming through. He went out there 24 hours after the last report, so it's assumed that these people were hiking in the daytime when they saw this shit, and he just came out. Then he came out for the follow up.
Yeah, I suppose. If it's not in the dark, then I don't know.
Yeah, the thing for me is I have heard these reports before. Mostly out in like the Appalachian Mountain Range. It's pretty common for weird shit to be spotted in the forests, especially after dark. There's a reason why when you go out into Appalachia, they tell you do not whistle after dark, keep your curtains closed, and if somebody says your name, know the fuck they didn't.
I don't know. That's a weird one. And I don't know. I Kettle Moraine, so it's on the eastern side there of the state. So
Yep. That leads me to believe that it's more probably a Wendigo than anything else, because Wendigo is like the like Potawatomi, Oneida, Ho Chunk version of the Skinwalker,
hmm
and they've been known to take on some interesting shapes. So it's my belief that it's potentially that.
could be.
There's a lot of shit out in the woods that you just don't fuck with. I mean, even you know that, even though you've never seen anything weird out in the woods.
Not yet, anyway. I mean, it could be. I mean, the Wendigo thing here, I Googled it, and they got antlers. But did he say it had antlers, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, the late summer, early fall antlers, not the early summer antlers.
Yeah. The antlers should have been gone. Yeah. Weird.
Well, they should have been velveted and not as big.
Yeah. Hey, boy, who knows? Then he left right away. Got a different job. Said I'm done with that shit.
Yep. I mean, fuck, I would too. Are you kidding me?
Yep. Nope. I've seen enough here. I'm out. Oh man. Wait a minute. Is Sarge here? Christine, is Sarge watching? I gotta know. I mean, we're gonna need for future reference here, folks. We're gonna need. I mean, Beth, I gotta hear your Mount Rushmore pro wrestlers. Got to. Can't wait for that one.
Oh, Sarge is not watching.
Dang it. Well, you tell him his homework is next time he's on here, I need to see his Mount Rushmores of pro wrestlers. I am sure he knows what's up.
Okay, so as we noted last week and the week before, this week we are doing. Excuse me. We are doing 2 Mount Rushmores this week. Oh, he had to go to Lancaster for work. Should be home soon.
It's my mom's hometown.
So we have 2 Mount Rushmores this week. One is top wrestlers by impact on the business, and the other one is our personal favorite wrestlers of all time. So I think for the first one, we'll do the top wrestlers by impact on business because our favorites are going to take a little bit longer. So
also, Christine has announced that Sargent doesn't watch wrestling.
Well, I could have told you that.
Sarge. We're gonna have to talk about that. Just me and him, one-on-one. But if anybody's got a Mount Rushmore wrestlers, list them. We'll announce it. But we are going with good for the business before that. Some could overlap. Well, yeah, most for me anyway. But different order. That being said, you go first or I go first, Corey?
I suppose I can go first. So this is our Mount Rushmore of top wrestlers by impact on the business. So you could take into account money drawn, TV impact, fame, availability, that kind of thing. So with that in mind, my number 4 is the Nature Boy Ric Flair. 16-time world champion, was one of the last traveling world champions as he went worldwide. And if you counted the actual amount of times that he would drop a title in a foreign country only to win it back the next day, he'd probably actually be like a 25-time champion. Because he did that in Puerto Rico quite a bit. He did that over in Asia. I mean, he was just doing, nice little returns here and there to bump up his paycheck a little bit there.
Yes, he's. I mean, you can't talk all-time great wrestlers in any form without that man being there. So, solid way to start. I'm starting with a guy that I just think is it's just he is probably the last 26 years, well, more than that, 30 years. Just beating out a counterpart in that same era. I gotta go with my guy, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He totally revolutionized the next step of professional wrestling. Kicked off that Attitude Era, if you will, and was certainly one of the faces for that, if not the face for it. And especially when you are a late teenager, early 20s ish, however long he went, I can't remember. And he's beating the shit out of his boss, and all you have is terrible bosses. Well, you're okay with that. You enjoy watching that.
Right.
One of the all-timers certainly brought in a whole bunch of money for God knows who, Vince McMahon most likely. I believe the Austin 316 shirt is the most sold shirt ever to this day.
It's up there, yeah.
Yeah. But Stone Cold, number 4.
Okay, just going to pause here for a second. Liz is popping in, saying hello. Fresh from her new telephone, so that's why her YouTube handle is different. Chris did jump in with his own list of favorite pro wrestlers. He did have to make a correction after he posted this. But his top 4 is Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and Undertaker, not
Okay.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a little high, Chris, for Brocky. Hey, get him out of here.
All right. My number 3 is a true worldwide draw. He's from France, in the French Alps, if you will. A rather large human being. And everywhere he went, he drew money. Everywhere he went, he drew money. Of course, I'm talking about Andre the Giant.
Yeah. It's a shame his career didn't go longer, but like when you're built like that, probably isn't meant to be a long career.
Well, he started in the 60s.
Oh.
Yeah, I actually saw footage from the mid 60s.
Oh.
Andre could land a drop kick.
Yeah, back when he was young, yeah, but then he drank 100 beers a night.
Yeah, I mean, he was even still in like really good shape up until about probably 1980, 1981. By that time he'd been slammed by like 5 different guys. He'd been body slammed by Harley Race, he'd been body slammed by Hogan. So yeah, don't let the WWE make you believe that Hogan was the first and only ever person, only ever once to slam Andre at Mania 3. No. Andre had been slammed by multiple human beings, multiple times. He just knew when to get it out.
Man, number 3, Andre. Okay. Well, my number 3 is a man from Huntington Beach, California, I believe, is where they bill him from. But used to have the blonde hair, and then for many, many years he became the Crow. But he was drawing plenty of money from the surfer days. But boy, once he hit that Crow stuff, man, the T-shirts, I had a drawer full of them. And that is Steve Borden, a.k.a. the Stinger.
Yeah,
We'll get to him later, but for money draws, he's got to be up there.
Yeah, and you also he also pretty much carried TNA in its infancy for like the first 10 years. Multiple time champion, drew the house multiple times. Had a real nice little WrestleMania payoff there in his like 9 months with WWE before he got injured. And then closing out on a sellout in AEW in the Greensboro Coliseum a couple years ago. I mean, dude just drew money wherever he went.
Yeah, and he was wrestling until he was, what, 65? 66?
Something like that.
It was you'd never, like, if he gets the makeup off and he's just normal, you'd never guess he's 65.
Oh, no, dude, he still looks young.
Yeah. Yeah, he's crazy. Oh, wait a minute here. Now, Chris is clearing it up for us, Corey.
Yep, I see that. I already threw up the one on screen. So his impact on the business list is Flair, a tie between Rock and Stone Cold, then Undertaker, and then Hogan. And then his personal top 4 is Sting, Undertaker, The Rock, and Ric Flair. I mean, those are solid altogether.
Yeah. Can't argue with nothing there. Can't argue with that. All right, Corey, what's your number 2?
My number 2, I'm reaching back to the beginning of television.
Oh.
So we have to go back to the 50s. This man was featured on Wrestling from Hollywood. Gorgeous George.
Gorgeous George. Yes.
Yeah, and that dude fucking drew money, made wrestling popular across the nation. And I mean, a lot of guys today even are cribbing shit from Gorgeous George. Like, there's a lot of things you see on TV today that Gorgeous George was doing back in the 50s.
Damn. Died when he was 48.
Yeah.
What the hell happened?
Dude lived life hard.
Oh, yes, I see. Liver cirrhosis. Yeah.
Yep.
Heart attack. Oh. Yeah, he had, the hair. The hair. Gorgeous George. Woo. A surprise numero dos from Corey. My number 2 is a man we've already talked about. That's the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. For the reasons you mentioned, and just like he's gone. I think he should just do the podcast or stuff right now. He doesn't need to be out and doing that, but that ain't his style. He's still out. I think he still wants to be in the ring, to be honest with you. But I like, what happened to his podcast?
He quit on it.
I like that with him and Conrad Thompson, right?
Yeah. To hear Conrad tell it, Rick just gets really bored with shit and just has to do something else. So it lasted about probably 6 months and he gave up.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun listening to him, just certain aspects, but like, he brings in money, terrific heel, great baby face, but like, just what was it, 70s and 80s when he was talking, Shivani and the background with their little makeshift studio, and he's just screaming at God knows what in the audience, and I mean, that's great. But certainly brought in who knows how many millions for people over the years. That brings us to your number 1, sir.
It should really be no surprise.
I know.
whether you called him Terry Boulder, the Incredible Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, the
Dude.
Immortal Hulk Hogan. I mean, no matter what he did, he was money. So it's Hulk Hogan.
Yep, and that is my number one as well. And it's pretty crazy because when he went heel, when he became Hollywood Hogan in WCW, they're throwing all that shit in the ring for God knows how long at him and everybody else. But man, same thing with the Stinger in terms of like career transformation. I think both him going heel and the Stinger going crow that's saved their not save their careers, but gave them another 20 years that they never knew they could have.
I think it saved Hogan's career, if I'm completely honest with you.
It was. Yeah, he was getting kind of meh, same old, same old.
Yeah, like by the time he was taking on Warrior at Mania 6, like the crowds are already kind of turning on him, and then it just kind of like just kept festering and festering. By the time 93 came around, like they'd pretty much given up on him. Like the crowds did.
Yeah.
Like it took having to turn in WCW in 1996 to get him back to where he was.
Yeah,
But to hear him tell it, if they would have just let him turn on the Warrior at the end of Mania 6 and he became Hollywood Hulk Hogan then, he'd have never left.
Right, yeah, he'd have never left. No.
Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know.
Yeah, who the hell knows?
Because even Bruce Pritchard's like, I don't know that he might have tossed that our way, but I don't remember that.
Yeah. It's pretty easy. I mean, it's Hogan. He's good, and then you hate him when he's in the NWO, but you got to watch it because you just never know what's going to happen. Certainly when Sting was the Crow and all that, and then they fucked that all up, and they made everybody in the NWO, and there's 7 different sects of the NWO. It's like, Jesus Christ, you guys, come on. But he was good. He was good until the end, man. I got plenty of his Funko Pops though, so I'm cool.
See, there you go.
No autographed ones though. Oh. Ooh.
Truly unfortunate.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to take out a loan for one, so I'll just hang out with the ones that I got.
There you go. All right, now on to a list that absolutely will not have Hulk Hogan on it, for me anyway. Favorite wrestlers of all time.
And this is going to be good, folks, because this is right up Corey and I's wheelhouse here, right up our alley. I haven't seen 11 Steps door guy. Door at 11 Steps. Where I don't know where he's at. It's time for him to chime in here, but he knows stuff as well.
Shit. Hang on. I forgot I had 2 honorable mentions on that previous list of impact on the business.
Who'd you got?
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
And then just for the Texas territory, the Von Erichs.
Oh, yeah, Kerry. Kerry was always the one I like watching. But it wasn't on WWE. It was whatever he was before. The one on ESPN, I think. AWA or something. Yeah.
WCCW out of Texas.
Yeah, with like the gentleman
World class.
Yeah.
Yep, world class championship wrestling.
It was Percy Pringle down there, not Paul Bear.
Yes, sir. And that the Von Erich family was such a huge draw in Texas that they actually sold out the old Cowboys Stadium for I think it was for their Thanksgiving show, or like right in that neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah, they were all over that. Kerry and him and his little twirly bird punch thing where he spun around and punched people. I don't know what the hell they called it. But man, that was good times watching them. Man. I only had one there, and I wrote The Rock.
Oh, okay.
Because, and I'll get into it here in a bit. to just if he stayed in wrestling, he'd be near the top of the list for just about anyone at this point.
Oh yeah.
With I don't even think 16 titles would do it for Cena anymore if The Rock stayed in it.
Yeah, no, Rock would have hit that long before Cena would.
Long ago. But anyway,
Because he was already up to 6 titles before he left the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I get why he did it, because if you can work for 30 days and make 20 million plus, well, why wouldn't you do that versus work 300 days a year and make what, 10 mil ish?
Right.
Okay, yep, got it. Oh man, here we go, Corey. I guess I'm starting.
You got it. Favorite wrestlers all time. Here we go.
I wasn't quite sure what to do with my number 4, but at the worst, he would have to be honorable mention. But given what I've got down there, I had to boost him up a little, and it's just because, and the man's name is Hulk Hogan. Now, you just said he's not on your list, but that's fine. But the biggest reason for me is the career transformation. I grew up watching him as a kid, WrestleMania 6, Hogan Warrior, one of my all-time favorites. And then all of a sudden, he's NWO, and you want to despise him, but god damn, did he play it good. I mean, he played it
for sure.
great. He was damn near a better heel than he was saying his prayers and taking his vitamins, back in the day. I mean, that was... And so I had to put him on there, and not to mention just his overall... what he meant for the business, which doesn't really, move him up or down too much for this discussion, but just a smidge. So I'm going to go number 4, Hollywood, Hulk Hogan.
Okay, so I want to preface this by saying that my wrestling fandom started with WCW. So I differ a little bit with Kevin here. Mostly because we didn't get cable until like 93 or 94. Didn't really see a whole lot of the WWF at the time, but we had TBS for Saturday nights, 5:05. Right after like the Andy Griffith Show or Braves baseball, depending on what time of year it was. And you'd have WCW Saturday night, and the guy that was usually featured pretty often on it is my number 4. The Enforcer, Arn Anderson. And I'm going to put it to you this way. I think we had seen one episode of Saturday Night, like, not long after it started. I think it was just after Flair came back. My dad and I are watching, and my dad is like, Ric Flair cannot fight his way out of a wet paper bag, but you look at that Arn Anderson guy, that's a guy you don't fuck with. And you know what? I'd have to agree. So, yeah, Double A has been one of my favorites for years. And he's at my number 4. And a couple other things. He has a rare pinfall victory over Hulk Hogan on live TV on one of the first episodes of Nitro.
Yeah, you don't see that.
And one of my favorite highlights of Arn Anderson's career, it's not a spine buster, it's not even a DDT, even though this led to a DDT. But there was a match he had with Das Wunderkind, Alex Wright, where he pulled back to punch, Wright ducked, Arn just hooked him and boom, dropped him with the DDT right there. Probably one of my favorite things ever.
I mean, Das Wunderkind, absolutely. Oh God, whatever happened to that guy? Alex Wright.
He's back in Germany now. He's in his 50s, running a wrestling school.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of taken over the void that Otto Vaughn's left behind when he died.
Okay.
So he's pretty much keeping like the German pro wrestling scene like alive and thriving.
Yeah, because Heidenreich didn't do it.
Oh fuck no. And honestly, Heidenreich's just some dork from Alabama, so
yeah, yeah. It's what's Glenn Gilberti doing? Disco Inferno. Do you know?
oh he is well, I think he's helping Rikishi run his wrestling school out in Vegas,
Oh wow, okay.
but he's most notably on the Keeping It 100 podcast with Conan
Oh wow.
and spouting bullshit. So, and getting
Okay.
roasted by Cody Rhodes on Twitter.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Conan. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, all right.
Yeah, and funny thing about Conan, for the longest time I was on Twitter, and I just happened to notice, like, out of the blue one day, all of a sudden Conan was following me. I'm like, the fuck? And it was a verified account, so I knew it was him. I was like, what in the fuck? And then I get a DM from him later in the day. It turns out he had been going and following everybody he could that posted anything pro wrestling just to DM them and go, hey, you listening to my podcast?
There you go. That's one way to do it.
Yeah, I listened to it once and never again.
I mean, what do they talk about? I'm reading a little bit here, but
I mean, it's Conan, you know, talking about like the Mexican wrestling, I think, and then whatever's going on like here in the States, and then he brings in Disco to spout his bullshit, and that guy never, that guy couldn't draw a dime with a fucking marker.
poor Glenn Gilberti. Although he was, what was he was cruiserweight champ once, or
Yeah, and TV champ.
not a boy. Disco.
Eh.
My number 3, the aforementioned Stone Cold Steve Austin. Again, just from being that age and watching that, you had heroes to pick, and there was no bigger in that era for me than the man who gave his boss Stone Cold Stunners frequently. Good in the ring, great in the ring, great charisma. I mean, so many iconic moments that, you know, we could have our own Mount Rushmore on Stone Cold Steve Austin's greatest moments. Certainly Milkomania, and well, that's Kurt Angle, but inspired by Stone Cold Steve Austin in the beer truck. And of course, Vince McMahon swimming on a wrestling ring, which I think is pretty impossible, but he did it. So, but number 3, Stone Cold. I don't know what his stats are or anything, but he's had just about everything in terms of titles, I think.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, yeah. Number 3, Stone Cold.
All right. Now, my number 3, I you know, I spent quite a bit of time probably back in the late aughts and most of the teens of this century, spending some time with or in different venues that hosted independent wrestling in the state of Wisconsin. And one of the stalwarts in that independent scene in Wisconsin here is a man that was trained by Harley Race. He was known for a little bit as Dinty Moore. Then he went by Matt Winchester. But now he's known nationally as the Beer City Bruiser after a run on Ring of Honor for about 5 or 10 years. And now he's running his own training school down in North Carolina. He has moved down to North Carolina as of a couple of years ago. Working mainly for a company named AML down there. They do monthly shows. Just had a big double shot this last weekend. Plus, he still travels the United States and every now and then he catches an international booking. So Beer City Bruiser is my number 3, and a hell of a guy too. I actually met him once or twice. Super dude, just incredible guy.
Beer City Bruiser. Oh my god. What the fuck? Oh. Matthew Dearth,
Yep.
I think.
Yep, that is his shoot name, but he yeah, no, he's good shit.
Excellent. 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 All right. Brings us to my numero dos. And it's a 16-time champion, but it ain't John Cena. And that is the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. I don't know what we have said that we need to say again, but it's just, dude, the guy's entertainment. Even when he was heel, and you could hate his guts, it was just a show. It was just entertainment. It was all a show. It was very much a production for him. He didn't need to be really the center of the attention. Just as long as he was, especially like tag team stuff, like he was always doing other shit outside the ring, and God knows what, the low blows, raking of the eyes, all the dirty shit, the dirtiest player in the game. But man, he was always fun to watch, whether it was solo, Four Horsemen, tag team, whatever, Evolution, whatever. Dude, guy's awesome. That's all I can say. Number 2 is Ric Flair. And, I think he's a little bit ahead of Austin. And then, between him and my number 1, it's probably a little closer. But I couldn't really put him anywhere else on the list. Number 2, the Nature Boy.
All right. Well, my number 2, we go back to the one of the worldwide leaders, if you will, for multiple-time WWE champion. Had a bit of a break there and then came back better than ever. Shawn Michaels.
Ooh. Wow. Okay. I did not expect to hear that name on your list. Okay.
Yeah, I think he was probably the first guy that I really connected with when I started watching WWF. I think it was probably about the time that I think it was the angle with the concussion that he got from Owen Hart. And it was just, I don't know, from there, that was my dude. I mean, granted, I did like Bret Hart,
Oof.
but
I think, Sean's, man, I like watching him. I wonder how much backstage politicking he did, which is the one thing because a lot of stories I know and read, a bit of a hole back in the day. I thought he's cleaned up now. He's born again Christian, and now he's just out hunting. That's all I know. So good for him. But I just, I loved him in DX. Loved DX. I did enjoy it. I mean, I like the outfits. The ones with all the shiny mirrors.
yeah.
That was classic outfits there, and his little hat or whatever. But he seemed like he was more entertaining when he had Sherry or a manager or China or whatever. But I love him either way.
Yeah, I honestly think he was probably at his best when either Diesel or Sid were his backups.
Sid, yes.
I mean, Sid as his backup was pretty fucking funny.
Oh, classic. Oh,
and honestly, that led to probably one of the better main events in Survivor Series history that year, because supposedly, allegedly, the story is that there was going to be a 3-match series between Shawn Michaels and Vader in '96.
God.
But the match at SummerSlam was just such a shit show that they told Vader, like, no, dude, no, we're switching to Sid. So then they turned Sid on Shawn, and then when they got to Madison Square Garden for that night at Survivor Series, Shawn Michaels got booed out of the building, and Sid had probably one of the best entrances of his career. That's when the crowd was like piled over the top of the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
So when that music hit, the crowd popped, and then when he came out, they got even louder. And then he just starts like punching random fans on his way out to the ring, going, "Who's the man?" Boom, like knocking knuckles with these people. Like,
Oh man, Sid. He's got to get in that Hall of Fame sometime too.
he really does.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. God dang. Sean. Now, Sean's still working for him or no?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
running NXT.
That's right. That's right. NXT. Okay.
Yeah, and you could actually tell when it started because there was like 3 different storylines going on that came like from early in his career.
Hmm. Okay.
So like there was one angle that kind of mirrored the Rockers breakup, but it was between 2 of the women's wrestlers, which was great shit.
I don't watch it. What's that on NXT?
I think they're on the CW now.
Holy shit. Okay. Okay. Wow.
Because they were like trying to get better reach for that product, and the CW was there for the taking, so
But is he like underneath Hunter?
yeah.
Technically speaking? Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Oh, good
Yeah,
time.
who would have figured that the 2 guys that the 2
Right.
guys at DX were gonna be running the fucking thing.
That's unreal. And you go back and you think about all their skits, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, and then Road Dogg actually quit this week.
Was that true? I thought that was
Yeah,
fake.
that was the real deal.
Oh
That
my
was
God.
verified.
Good Lord. Poor Road Dogg. I can't believe he would quit. Christ, he's working for his friends and he's just,
I think he started getting like some backlash over some of like the from what I understand, some of the like the writers meetings and shit. It's like they have that show on Netflix now where they show like the writers meetings and shit, and apparently he just kind of looked like out of place and out of his depth, and
man. All right.
and so people really started dogging him online, and I guess that finally got to him or something. I don't know.
Jesus Christ. Hey, hey, hey. Well, that brings us to my numero uno. And for those who know me, including Corey, this is no surprise, but it is the man they called Sting. He's been my favorite for quite some time, going way back when I was a kid watching WCW Saturday Night, the blonde hair, and once he switched to the Crow, which at that time was one of my all-time, it still is one of my all-time favorite movies with Brandon Lee, God rest his soul, and he became the Crow Sting. That was it right there. Like, that's the guy. And I remember back in the day, I would hang up, you know how they got the little pieces of paper for like sporting events. If you're on the basketball team, you get one for this game and the next game and all that.
Yeah.
And go whatever, beat whoever. Well, I would go around and I would print out stuff like wrestling related. And it was way back in the day. So I'm like literally like printing out a picture of Sting and then putting that on another piece of paper and then making copies of that and then typing something in if there's a big pay-per-viewer coming up, and I'd go around the school and I'd tape them to my friends' lockers. And I had my whole locker was covered in the stuff and like pictures of Sting. There's a picture in my yearbook somewhere of me like posing with it, and on the inside it's all Sting shit. But man, I think I had a lot of his t-shirts. I had his little orange foam finger back in the day. Man, he's the man. He is the man. He's the man, number one. I don't know what else. I mean, he's got so many titles. He's just the man, and I think the pro era of Sting versus just the portion where he was against Hogan. That whole, what was that, 2 years ish?
Yeah,
give or take. Like, man, that is must watch TV if you're a wrestling fan. That is so fucking good. That is so damn good. But Sting, numero uno.
Oh, so you want to know my number one?
I mean, I'm waiting, Corey. Hit me with it.
Well, it just seems that this guy just went and got this phrase trademarked. One that was made famous by a guy that made him famous. The guy's name is really escaping me at this point. Oh yeah, it's Sting.
Oh, God. Tony Schiavone.
Yeah, no, it's Sting.
Well, I was going to say, Schiavone never wrestled. And God have mercy if he did.
Just this week, Sting went and got It's Sting with like 4 or 5 eyes in it, trademarked.
Oh, man. Man, Sting number one for everybody. Holy shit.
Yeah, and I agree with Chris here. WCW Peak was better than Attitude Era. I would agree. That's why Sting is number one across the board. To me, I think.
I had Raw parties, so every Monday night, pile like 10 friends in my mom and dad's basement, and typically we would lean WCW, but then there was like didn't they go till like 10:05 or something like that?
Yeah.
Back in the day, so you had this overlap, and it was at the end where all the good stuff was, so you had to kind of really watch it. But I made on a VHS tape, which I think is still in my mom's basement. I called it the Stinger highlight reel. So whenever we thought Sting was coming out, I'd hit record, and I still have that tape.
Nice.
It's an hour and a half long. It covers it all. Oh, man. Wow, he got a trademark. So now when he goes to like cons, he can just have that all over the place and sell the living shit out of that. Oh my God. That's crazy. So Stinger is your number one, huh? What is your favorite Sting Crow moment?
Well, I would say, so there's a series of them. I can never really pin it down to one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But now I loved Surfer Sting. I thought he was the shit. But you come into 96, you go into War Games that year, and the promo that came on the Monday Nitro afterward, where he kept his back to the hard cam and talked only to the fans, which in hindsight is fucking brilliant. Where he told everybody to stick it and he was on his own and that kind of thing. So, I mean, that's one of my favorites. And it came to be known fairly quickly that he was going after Hogan because why wouldn't he?
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite thing out of all of this is between him and the announcers and all of the fans. They all made J.J. Dillon look like the biggest fucking idiot on God's green earth. For like 3 months straight, J.J. Dillon's coming out and going, well, what do you want? What do you want?
I got a contract with you against Kurt Hennig.
Yeah, and then, Sting would obviously point with his bat at a Hogan sign. And JJ would just be sitting there dumbfounded, like, huh?
Good old James J.
Like, to this day, I think he's the biggest dumbass on God's green earth. And that's knowing full well that's all in storyline.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Oh wow. The Blade Runners.
Yep, the tag team with the Warrior from their rookie year.
Oh wow. Yeah, yeah. And I, for those who don't know, by all accounts, the man is legit, like gentleman on and off the screen. By all
Yep.
accounts, you can't find one person to say anything bad about Sting. Not one. I've never seen it. I've never heard it.
No, even when Eric Bischoff talks about like the difficulties like on the day of Starcade
Oh God.
97, where he just said that Sting looked out of sorts and wasn't himself. Well, at that point, I think he was like going through a divorce and really getting into like, I think it was either painkillers or booze. I can't remember which. But it wasn't long after that he got cleaned up, and Bischoff wasn't even like pissed at him about it. He didn't even say anything bad about him. He was like, I just felt sorry for the guy because this is the biggest night in the history of your career, and you showed up like that.
Man, Hogan fucking no selling didn't help him any in the end.
No, but I mean, when you look back on it now, knowing that part of the story, and you're watching him make his entrance, you're like, shit, there really was something wrong with the dude.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm like you. I don't know if I can pin it down on anything because, man, I'd still watch that damn highlight reel today, and I'm sure there's actual DVDs out there that go more in depth and show even more than I have.
Oh
But
yeah,
man, it's just, I mean, coming down from the best one though, in my opinion, all of his little appearances when he was going through Hogan was when he had the vulture on his arm and that voice
yes.
like that definite like that you could tell is just like this white noise going through the arena or whatever, and she said that poem. I we rewound that because that was on a Raw, or I think.
No, no, it was Clash of the Champions.
Okay, well I had
It
a
was a
party
Thursday
then.
night special.
Yep, that's I had a party and everybody was down there. We rewound it like 15 times so I could write it down, on a piece of paper and then go to school the next day and print out the poem and then post it all over everybody's lockers. I not once did any of it get taken down. Not once. I cannot believe
Yeah,
it.
nobody questioned that shit back in the mid '90s.
No. Now you'd probably need a note from the governor to put that shit up. Who knows? Oh yeah, dude. But I mean, bat in hand, when he would drop down from the rafters, the one where he rescued DDP, and they
Yep.
like there must have been a trigger in it, and he had to like pull it like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, fucking, let's get going, and then finally it clicked, and off they went. But man, those were the good old days. Now everybody just do. Like there's no vignettes. I miss the vignettes backstage, man. They're not as good. That's for damn sure. Whatever they do produce, but
Yeah, there's very few that get it on the level that the guys in the '90s and early 2000s got it.
even back in like the '80s, where it was all cocaine fueled, most likely.
Right.
Like Ultimate Warrior, the Macho Man. Fuck.
Yeah, because I mean, there's very few that truly, I think, get it to the point of like they can actually advance stories without having the writers hold their hands and shit. And one of those guys is actually on my honorable mentions as kind of more of a modern addition to the list. Kevin Owens.
Ooh, he's been gone for a while.
Yeah, he's been out for a little while with a neck injury, but he was probably one of the best characters on TV because he would just crash out at shit that normal fans would crash out at when they saw it on screen. So like if I don't know, let's just say the Usos did something or they came in and interrupted him in a backstage promo, he would just lose his shit on them and be like, "You guys are always fucking here. Why are you always here?" Like just that shattering of the fourth wall when he does it is just hilarious shit. So I mean, he's on my honorable mentions list. Stone Cold Steve Austin for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
He's on that list for honorable mentions. Undertaker, Mick Foley, Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero,
Oh, Eddie.
and last but not least, the man currently known as John Moxley.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because
Okay.
that dude really hit his stride when he left WWE.
Yeah, that's true. He can bring it either way. You know, heel, babyface, hardcore, whatever you want. Um, uh, where he's in AEW still?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's fun to watch. I don't need
absolutely
him.
great to watch.
Yeah, I enjoyed the full psychotic character, but I don't need that. Just go crazy, like in the ring, like grab a just. I don't need you to talk. Just do your thing. He's good on the mic though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's done some hardcore shit too. Jesus Christ! All I see is him bleeding all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, I think he toned it down a little bit, but he's bringing it out in like just the right moment.
Yeah.
Like when he had that his most recent world title run, he wound up losing by hanging in a Texas death match.
I saw that.
I mean, that was pretty good shit.
It's just like watching the old school stuff because WCW and the WWE Vault on YouTube right now have a live continuous thing, and the WWE one is the Attitude Era, and they just play like typically they're the classic matches. And Jesus Christ, whichever video I sent you where I don't know Taker was beating the shit out of Fole or Mankind and had thumbtack. Yep. I mean, dude, just classic.
That was Hell in a Cell '98.
Yep, that's right. I watched that one because I knew it was coming. I had to do something, so I paused it and I was like, I'll get it later. But you watch that just for the commentary.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was not a match so much as it was an event.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So my honorable mentions here, I didn't write them down. Rock would have been 5th for me. He's just too good.
Oh, hang on 1 second. We got some more updates from Chris here.
Oh God.
His current top 4: Liv Morgan, fine choice. Sol Ruka, also I will co-sign on that. Tiffany Stratton, Minnesota girl, absolutely co-signing on that. And trained by Mr. Kennedy. And finally, Stephanie Vaquer.
Not familiar with.
Real gorgeous Chilean woman. I mean, she is amazing.
Yeah, I don't know too much about her. That Sol Ruka, same sort of thing. I've heard of it. There's no Alexa Bliss on that list, Chris. What in the hell are you looking at?
He likes his women tall. Well, except for Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan's pretty short.
And there's no Rhea Ripley. Like, what are we doing here, Chris?
And then he comes in with the update. JK. It's actually Dom Mysterio, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes. Obviously, this iteration of Roman Reigns is like actually fucking good.
I don't really watch hardcore like I used to. Certainly not like I used to. I love Dom, like Dirty Dom, like that angle's just, it's too funny not to like. Cody I like. Jey Uso had a good run there, but then what happened to him? Roman, I go way back to when it started and how the fans rejected him. They shoved him in our faces so much, so bad, that we booed the living shit out of him, and they had to go back and go, okay, we got to reinvent this guy a little bit. Good for him. I'm glad they did. He's good. So, but yeah,
he's definitely got a little bit more higher standing now, I think.
Yeah,
which is where he should have been the whole time.
Yeah, the whole forcing it down our throats, and it's like, where did he come from? He's this new guy, and all of a sudden, we're going to put him in a championship match, and we want you to love him. Fuck you, we don't. So figure it out. And they did.
Yeah, and considering the sympathetic babyface that came out of that initial turn by Seth Rollins was Dean Ambrose, they really should have just put the rocket on him right away and built up Roman instead of just strapping him in and going full force with him right away.
Yep.
But
Yep. I got The Rock. Okay, so I had The Rock.
and Chris says he doesn't watch hardcore either. Like I don't either. He follows a little bit on Facebook. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I just get the highlights on Facebook.
I watched the first time they were on Netflix, their first show, and I haven't watched it live since. And McAfee gone, like, you know, he may not be the greatest wrestling announcer, but what he brought was like that
But
fandom.
he makes it so much fun.
Right. He makes it fun. He's a fan first before he's a fucking announcer, and Michael Cole is not. And the thing when you listen to like JR and the King and Shivani and like Bobby Heenan, right? When the NWO was taken over, their biggest attribute as being announcers was how real they kept it. Like they made you think as a viewer, like, holy shit, they're coming in here and they're going to kill us all, or whatever the storyline may be. And no one's done that since that era has gone. No one. Michael Cole can't do it. Kudos for him for missing like 3 days in 27 years. Great. He's good. I'll listen to him. Not a problem. But I don't get that from him. And they brought in McAfee, and he was fantastic at that. He was fantastic. He's like, holy shit, who's here? You know, and of course, Michael Cole geeked out when John Cena flipped out and all that. So there's a little bit there, but like, he doesn't do it on a consistent basis at all. Whereas McAfee, that's who he is. That's who he is on the announce booth. It's awesome.
You know what, Chris? I do believe we did do
the
Mount Rushmore of announcers. We could do background interviewers, but our list would basically be the same. It'd be, I mean, Mean Gene would be number one for background.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do it because there's plenty of good backstage interviewers that we can make it work.
God.
But
fucking Todd Pettengill.
Right. Kevin Kelly.
Oh God, yes, yeah, that era. That what was that? 90s, early-ish,
late 90s.
Late, yeah. Kevin Kelly, Todd Pettengill,
Doc Hendricks.
Oh, Michael P.S. Hayes, baby. And then, because who did WCW didn't? Who'd they have? It was always Mean Gene.
Yeah, it was Mean Gene, and for a little bit there in the late 90s, early 2000s was some chick by the name of Pamela Paulshock.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I definitely don't mean Coachman. Oh, no.
Jonathan Coachman. Absolutely.
How could we forget the coach? Oh, my God.
Oh, he would probably sue us if we didn't mention him. So
yeah. I mean, kudos though. He did. He was good at what he did. You hated his fucking guts, but he was really good at making you hate him. Just this annoying twerp of a man, and he took his licks. So can't argue with that. Coachman. Oh God.
Yeah, we'll have to do. Yeah, we might actually do that. Yeah, we might actually have to do that backstage interviewers one next week. That might be a good one.
Yeah, potential. I just cannot think of anybody at WCW because it was Shivani and whoever that. Well, Stagger Lee Marshall.
Yep, Lee Marshall. Actually, you would do yourself well to do a little bit of a YouTube dive on the backstage interviewers for Memphis Wrestling back in the day.
Okay.
The guy with WCCW in Texas, he was pretty good. I've seen a couple clips of him with Jake the Snake Roberts back when Jake was making a run down there. Yeah, there's actually some solid ones back in the 70s. So I think, do a little deep dive, but I think you'd find some good ones.
Jeremy Borash.
Hey, Borash is good. And he was like the driving He was like the driving force behind the oh fuck, what was it? That specialty match that Matt Hardy had back in TNA back in the early 2020s. Oh fuck me, what is that?
Broken Hardy.
Yeah, the all of the matches that they did out at the Hardy compound. He was the one that directed all that shit.
Oh my god. Eric Bischoff. David Crockett was the guy I was thinking of.
Yep. David Crockett. Bischoff was all right.
Terry Funk.
Dude. 1989 NWA. Terry Funk was backstage announcer for a little bit, but it was to get him back in so he could have that series of matches with Flair.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what they're saying here. Yep. Scott Hudson. Eh. Tenay, but
he was brought on more for commentary during cruiserweight matches.
Yeah, Dusty Rhodes, if you will. Oh, the body. Yes.
Jesse Ventura's backstage interviewer was great.
Yep. Paul E?
Yeah, he did a little commentary / interviewing in WCW.
Yeah.
He had an interview segment called The Danger Zone.
Yes, with the phone. Uh-oh, what's Chris saying? Taz? God, he's not my favorite in anything he does. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not into just suplexing people all the time. Lesnar.
So, you want to just like give off the rest of your honorable mentions for your favorites?
Yeah, I mean, I got The Rock again. He would have been higher up on the list had he stuck to it. But there's just that whole slew of like that could have been on the list probably, but like, Dusty Rhodes. I mean, got to give it up for the man himself, Dusty Rhodes. Savage. The guy in the ring and out of the ring. Some of the greatest clips you'll ever see are from the Macho Man. Mr. Perfect, same thing, could do it all. And my man himself, who did not, I don't think he gets the notoriety, but certainly a legend in the business. Certainly does not have like the title reigns, if you will, but the hot rod, Roddy Piper.
Yes, sir.
And of course the great angle, show him the hip, Piper, show him the hip, from Hulk Hogan in WCW. Just good stuff all around. It's a shame that half of our list is dead.
Right.
Damn. Howard Finkel. And Lord Alfred Hayes.
Yes, sir.
Oh man. Lord Alfred. So many good times. Well, what do we got, Corey? What's up next now?
I do believe you may have a fact that sounds like bullshit.
It's a good thing you're here, because I do. Now, I'm going to get you a good one here.
And after Kevin reads this, if anybody's got any questions for the Widiots, hit them in the chat. We'll hit those, and then we'll hit the go home and get the hell out of here.
I mean, you probably already knew that lightning can explode trees, right?
Yeah.
I think that's I'm just trying to see if there's anything interesting here.
I mean, I've seen it with my own two eyes.
Okay. Here's one, Corey. There is evidence that certain species of baboons keep dogs as pets. Doesn't say where, when, how, what. That's just what it says.
I buy it.
Yeah, I mean, part of the whatever species, baboon, chimpanzee, humanoids, whatever. You know, maybe they know how to take care of a dog. I wouldn't want to piss off a baboon, though. Good lord.
Shit, no. You kill their dog, they go full John Wick on your ass.
Ooh, hey. Now here's one to go into the weekend here, folks. We got, okay, here we go. This one you're going to appreciate. I'm looking out for you, Corey. I don't know how, but for every human on planet Earth, there are about blank million ants. What's your guess?
For every person on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, they did give us this statistic when I was in training at my current position.
Mm.
The number escapes me right now, but I want to believe it's like 3 million ants per every human on the planet Earth.
A little high, but you could have more up-to-date training numbers than this book. Let me see if I can find a... It's a little high for this book. I'll get the date later. It says, obviously, we can only estimate. Some say more, some say less, but 1.6 million is
That
the
might have actually been the number that was given to us.
middle ground between most estimates, which is kind of crazy. That's a lot of ants underneath us and all around us. That's crazy.
Dude, just the sheer amount of species of ant that you can find in the state of Wisconsin would, like, really blow your mind.
Oh, Christ, you can go out on your sidewalk and see, what, 3 or 4 minimum every day.
Yeah, those are pavement ants.
Got the red ones, the black ones, the big black ones. And they don't like each other. They are not fans. Well, I suppose, what do we got next week, Corey?
Well, you know what? I think we will do the backstage interviewer for pro wrestling for next week for our Mount Rushmore. Think I am actually taking a small road trip on Sunday, so I may go and acquire something for a future taste test. Or I may do so tomorrow and maybe just come down to your neck of the woods.
Hey, we're open. Well, I don't work there anymore.
I'll just come find. I'll just roust you out of your house for a little bit. You ain't got nothing going on. The one that makes you smile is in Florida.
He's in Florida. It's apparently supposed to rain tonight, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I got to get out and like cut some brush, cut some trees down for these deer so they can come in. But I don't really want to do it if I got to walk half mile with a chainsaw and a gas can in my hand. That ain't fun. Ay, ay, ay. What do we got going on there? Beth went to Arby's and didn't tell us, so.
So we'll do the Mount Rushmore backstage interviewers next week. I think the official beginning of the NFL league year is on the 11th. So come Friday, there may be a flurry of activity, if you will. So we might dig into that if anything interesting pops up. I mean, I've already seen that DJ Moore's being dealt to the Buffalo Bills.
Patriots center to Minnesota for a 5th rounder next year. They've done very little. It doesn't sound like they're going to be in the market for Max Crosby anymore because the Raiders want way too much. And apparently A.J. Brown's asking price is a fortune and everybody else is out on him. So it's either Philly or New England. And I hope they don't overpay for him.
No doubt.
Who knows?
I mean, he'd be a way more reliable target than Stephon Diggs. I'll give you that.
Yeah, Diggsy is just, I think his time is done. Not done, but like, that's not the kind of.
Yeah, and he's going to be gone. So
he's going to be gone, but man, he does catch damn near everything it throws at him. He just doesn't get away from anybody hardly. So I don't.
No.
They'll be all right. They save some money. They'll do their thing and figure it out. But they now will move their soon to be second year guy who was the left guard last year over to center. So they've got a void that their offensive line is not great. They need help there. So I would rather them focus on that and just have Drake May toss it to whoever. But boy, it would be nice to get a weapon. But I don't want them to overpay for anybody. Mm-mm.
Yeah, so we'll hit on that next week. There'll be some more spooky tales to pull from the state of Wisconsin. I will be probably giving a preview of what's to come next Saturday. There is another investigation at the old Baraboo Inn, led fully by the Mad City Ghostbusters, who I'm also a member of. I'll just give my shout out to Scotty Rourke and the team right here. So for once, I'm gonna be doing like shit in the basement, so it's gonna be fun for that one. Try to get some activity down there. So got that going for us. There's, and we'll have more Florida man versus Midwest guy, and I promise I'll find a Midwest story this time around.
But I got it though. I got it correct.
You really did. You could have just said either one Florida, and you'd have been right. I mean,
boom.
Although I did get you pretty good with that. Well,
fucking Sal. Oh man. I suppose it's coming up on 2 hours, Corey. Holy shit.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like we got any questions. So that being said, in the meantime, in between time, like, share, subscribe, bring your friends, bring your family. Well, maybe not your family if you're embarrassed of us, but bring your friends, bring your family, like, share, subscribe, share this shit. We need more people. Like, more people. So that would be greatly appreciated. And join us next week, 7:30, right here on YouTube and Facebook for more fun with the Widiots. Again, I am CMC. That guy over there is MCKD. We love most of you. Go to hell. Goodbye.